Welcome back, everyone. We are here. My name is Susie Kim. With me is Wolf Schroeder, and we have the last series of the evening. We've got Immortals versus Horsemen.
Well, it's what I'm calling the lost series, Susie. It's the series that was lost to us last time when we actually had this 4 sets of matches. The Horsemen were not able to show up, so the Immortals got some free points early on. But we've never seen these two teams play against each other before, so really excited to see how they're going to do, because these two teams are very close to each other in points and in rankings.
I feel like this is going to be a lot closer of a series than we have been seeing all evening. I wouldn't be surprised if this actually went to a best-of-9.
Absolutely could, because we thought the two Japanese teams at the beginning might have another close series, but Karen Tiger's really been pulling ahead. Then we saw our second series went as expected, but this third one, it's got to be at least one really close series in every night of matches, right, Susie? So this could be the one.
I think this is the one. Immortals have been showing some days they have great games and some days they have a little bit of difficulty. Horsemen have been pretty solid all throughout, so I'm going to give the edge to Horsemen.
I'm going to give the edge to Horsemen as well. The Immortals, strong Vietnamese team, definitely has their act together when it comes to team making, playmaking. On the other hand, Horsemen, really good on all sorts of maps. Like, they've shown us they have no map weaknesses.
Yeah.
The first time we saw them play on Lakeville, they looked a bit weak. The second time we saw them play on Lakeville, fixed all their problems, looked really solid. And I feel like this team's good at adapting, good at making split-second decisions. Like, all right, we all got to go here. We got to do this now.
Yeah.
And not only moving as a team, but also focus firing as a team. There's a lot of really good communication going on in this team.
I think so too. And again, one of the teams that we have been watching consistently over the course of the weeks, playing really, really well and improving. But here, we're going to introduce to you the Immortals. In Immortals, we see Sirius, Catan, Sun, Hades, pretty much all the time. Catan being the guy on your SPG, usually that crazy tier 6.
Yeah. This is a team that doesn't switch out too often their players. I mean, there's not a whole lot to say about this. There's nothing, I mean, besides what you just said on Catan, there's not a whole lot of stuff on the team where I go, okay, this guy does this guy does that. We see them switch a lot. Ningo is someone that's often the one who makes the plays on the big AMXs, for example. Here's Horsemen. We see a decent amount of switching on these two, these two Yoi Flashful players are looking really good. Just Rex plays a lot. Nippon, we see him switch out a lot. Sidonia Tom, you see switched out a lot. Bloody Horse, we've seen one time on Lakeville. Icy Flying Unicorn, a staple. Faluso, a staple. Spencer, in and out every now and then.
Yeah, for sure. Faluso is definitely the name that comes to mind when you think of Horsemen, because he's always there and he's like the main guy. I'm really sad I haven't seen Meat Bun enough, because I like calling out his name. But
we haven't seen him since like the very first time they played on televised matches.
Meat Bun, where are you, man?
We'll have to wait and see if he makes a appearance.
Appearance?
A reappearance, yes. Thank you for that. Now, the Horseman logo that you saw up on the screen is not as cool as their logo on the actual official WGL website, where they actually have the rubber horse mask.
It is so awesome, actually. If you guys go check out the WGL Asia website for APAC-ASIA Gold Series, you're going to be able to see that the Horseman, it's actually a guy with a horse mask on. And
it's awesome.
It's pretty awesome. But all right, enough talking. We're going to go right into game number 1. All right, set number 1, Immortals versus Horsemen on Himmelsdorf. And we can see here Horsemen are going to be on the defense first.
It's going to be our very first super tight city map, Susie, that we've seen today. I like this map a lot. I'm starting to see it more and more often in recent times. Let's go through our tank list a little bit here. On the side of Horsemen, they're running as heavy as it gets.
Wow,
2 5100s, 4 IS-3s, and a T-37. On the Immortals side of things, a bit different. 3 IS-3s, 2 5100s, but instead of that second 5100, they're running the Tank Destroyer, and they're running a 12-ton AMX. Yep.
We've been seeing this guy quite a bit.
And we're going to see the Immortals do the more new age type strategy, is to control the castle, that high ground position.
Yeah. All right. Already we can see that the Horsemen are going to play quite defensively. The IS-3s are going to go and protect the base to the left, while, they're going to have one IS-3 all the way up top as well. They're just going to play it very calm and collected in a defensive manner, if you will.
Yeah, definitely so. Spencer on his way up, might get blasted by Ningyo.
I think he might be, but Ningyo is going to change direction and go elsewhere.
You're not worth my AMX
no.
round.
Okay, Immortals are just going to inch out here. Feluso obviously is going to be able to see them.
He's in a very exposed spot with a 5100. I can't believe he showed himself right there. Whoa, got to get back, man.
And he does take a shot, but does not hit anything.
Ningyo does start taking out Spencer. Let's see if he uses the third round. It's probably worth it.
It's probably worth it to take out one member. Remember, even if a tank is up, there you go. There's Spencer. He is down. Even, I was gonna say, even if it's tier 6 and the tank is up with small HP, he's still there. That's still a shot.
Yeah. Now the Immortals are gonna threaten with Hades and Sun here at this inside capture point.
Yes, and if they're careful, they may be able to just sneak right inside and try to start capping this base. But while they're doing that, Archon is going to take a ton of damage from behind.
I think Horsemen are panicking a bit too much about this. They're not even in a good position to do this yet. They don't need to rush this. They don't need to force the issue. I see Flying Unicorn does take out Reaper, which is nice, but Archon does not want to rush things. Oh, look at this.
Oh, wow.
None is just rolling in.
They sure are, and these two tanks from the Immortals are going to take a whole lot of damage.
I see Flying Unicorn does get all of his shots off, which is really, really important before he goes down. Did a ton of damage. Feluso takes out Blackheart, and you see the Sirius is trying to get a kill here. Archon, man, he is not afraid of anything.
No, he wants to kamikaze, make sure he can take down some members of the opposite team as he dies. Feluso is going to take a lot of damage too, and it looks like right now it is a 4v2.
Yep, but keep in mind both 5100s are on reload right now for the Immortals, so this match is closer than it looks. The problem is just that Gorilla alone is going to have to do too much work. The 5100 blocking here because he can. And
that tank shell has really helped out the Immortals because Just Rex is getting hit in from behind. Sun was able to chip him down and then ram him to death. Gorilla is the last man standing, and it doesn't look like he's going to be able to survive much longer, especially with two members surrounding him. There you go. And that's
Immortals
it.
take game one. They're starting to get a bit of an impression that this map is attack side favored. We're seeing a lot of teams on the attack have huge advantages if you can control that location where you can threaten the base capture from the inside of the buildings. Teams like to panic about that. We've seen them try to force the issue way too much. Archon, way too overextended, exposed himself too much, took too much damage.
Feluso too.
Feluso
he was
as well.
By himself. 5100 should not be out there all alone.
I mean that's as simple as it gets. It was pretty excellent analysis. I mean, he's running in there alone, exposed. No support, no IS-3s with them. They were panicking about a base capture that, quite frankly, wasn't even occurring.
No.
They did have another tank on the other capture point, threatening that a little bit, but that wasn't the big issue, and it was only one tank alone. No reason to panic. I feel like Horsemen definitely got a bit ahead of themselves there. So let's see what happens in Game 2. Let's see if they can keep their wits about them, because attack side really strong on this map. We have seen players get to really good position there and force that sort of panicked reaction, but this was not one of those times, and I feel like Horsemen were worried that it was going to become one of those times, and they kind of pushed their way in there a bit too overzealously, if I could say so myself.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they just expected a little more aggressive play. I'm not sure, but you know what? Usually, the first games, it's a place for both teams to really get a feel for each other. Like you said, this is the lost match. These two have never played against each other before on a broadcasted matchup. So it just could be that they're feeling each other out. They've watched enough VODs of each other to know maybe this is how they play. We better be all up in their face, but no. It
could also be the opposite of what I think it is Horsemen panicking and trying to approach that situation. Maybe they're thinking, this isn't the best engagement, but we're so much better than them accuracy-wise, we're actually just going to beat them anyways, and maybe it's an overconfidence thing. Either way, it definitely was not the way to approach things. We are going to have Horsemen doing a player swap. We'll give you guys an update as soon as we know which players are switching out in just a moment here.
Okay. Well, it looks like Just Rex is going to be going out for Horsemen, and Sidonia Tommy is going to be coming in.
Ooh, interesting, because Just Rex seems to be kind of a staple of Horsemen. Sidonia Tommy is the swap in for other players, but not so much for Just Rex. So
interesting.
Do you happen to recall who Just Rex was on, which tank he was on in that last game? I think he was on an IS-3, but I can't remember exactly.
No, he was probably one of the ones that died quickly, and so I wasn't able to call him out, so I don't really remember. Just Rex does, he does. He's the guy that they swap in quite a lot. I know that, but okay, well, game is ready. Let's see if this new lineup is makes any difference. Set number 2, Immortals versus Horsemen, and Immortals are up 1. Horsemen are on the defense once again.
So tank swaps, we have the Waffen out, will be replaced by an IS-3, and we do have the 12-ton versus the T-37. Otherwise, these tank lineups are completely mirrored. So just the Tier 6 being the difference, the AMX 12-ton being an autoloader that we do see oftentimes on this map. So no surprise there.
Yeah, they got rid of the Waffen.
Yeah, that's they just decided they don't want to use it. It's not ended up being useful for them in their composition.
Right, and this is a lot more standard, I suppose. These are tanks that they obviously have very good control over and have practiced quite a lot on, so we're going to have to see how this pans out for them. Horsemen, again, they're just going to spread out towards the left side of the map, and Immortals have fanned out quite a bit. It's a little different.
Yeah. Well, it's really interesting that the Immortals send the 12-ton to the castle. It's in a position where it could actually hit the 5100.
Yeah.
And if that happens, that would be a great start. Catan is trying to aim through these buildings. He's not able to get a clean shot on none.
Well, let's see if he could use this little rubble pile house to peek at. Ooh, but he gets focused on first. They know that he's up there. Gorilla is going to take some damage. He's the first one to take damage. Wow, you're right. That 12-ton from the top going to try to snipe off some HP.
Yeah, not able to get much done, unfortunately.
Well,
but
there's a little bit.
A little bit. Spencer goes down, meanwhile, to Blackheart. So Immortal's starting to get some significant advantages here, and Reaper is always threatening them. We actually saw several IS-3s fire up there towards the castle to hit Reaper, and all of them failed, so that's a lot of wasted time, a lot of wasted attention.
Yes.
And the Immortals are completely untouched so far damage-wise at full health. They've damaged several tanks, they've taken out the Tier 6, and they have a huge lead here. Not what I expected going into this series.
That is, it's really interesting. These IS-3s, Sun and Hades going to try to provide backup for one another. I do like that they are working in pairs while, ooh, goodness, look at that. They're just trying to chip down members, but Horsemen are missing their shots tonight.
Yeah. Time is working in their favor, but there's still plenty of time for the Immortals. I don't think they're worried about that, not even a bit right now.
Yeah.
Blackheart looks like he might be trying to gauge where Flying Unicorn is and take a shot, but there's 3 IS-3s to protect. Reaper now coming around, realizing that his role up there on the castle is no longer needed.
Yeah, but he's just going to go up north and around. Wow, 3 members of Horsemen just continuing to try to take some shots, but it looks like nothing is connecting at all.
Not a single one, not a scratch on any of the members of the Immortals. Still at full hit points on all 7 tanks. Catan trying to figure out who is nearby here. They know there's at least 1 IS-3 over here with Tommy. They don't know how many are there. Reaper looks like he might threaten the capture here, just very carefully. But I see Flying Unicorn spots him. He should be able to blast him with that 5100.
He really should be able to, and blast him he does. Reaper has 1 more. Yeah, okay, I was going to say he could only take 1 more shot, and he does take that 1 more shot, and he's down. So Immortals now down 1 tank.
All right, so
it's pretty much a standstill at this point.
Yeah,
it's
at
like
this point we've
6v6.
Yeah, we've got traded out the Tier 6s. Yep. They're gone. Archon takes a lot of damage here, though, and so does Tommy. This is, again, a good position for the Immortals. And they can take big movements like this because they know they have a massive lead in hit points. So they are confident enough to make these sort of moves. Feluso takes another one of his shots. That's important. 4 left now.
Yeah, but there's 3 minutes and 12 seconds left now on the clock. And Immortals are going to have to start pushing a little bit further if they want to capture a base and or take out members of Horsemen, which seems to be the tactic they're going for.
Yeah.
Okay, Ningyo finally takes a bit of damage.
Oh god, he's in such a bad position.
But Archon is down, an IS-3 is down, Feloso's down, a 5100 is pretty much out. So it looks like Immortals are in a very good place now.
Yeah. Ninja was able to just run through there without taking a single hit. Now he's being challenged, but it's a bit too late. I see Flying Unicorn way out of position to help him, even None kind of blocking those shots. Sun will move forward here to help finish this off.
That was
it's a one-for-one trade.
Yep, and that was really good by None, trying to slow him down by using his entire tank to stop him. And now, yeah, it means None has three guys coming right at him.
He's got nowhere to go, and I see Flying Unicorn is so low he can't participate. Hades is going to knock him out just to make sure. There he goes. And now it's just going to be a slow death here for None, as it's 3 IS3s to 1. No auto-loaders to burst him down quicker.
Yep.
One shot. Oop, gets somebody out on his way out.
One shot, 2 shots, one more. Blackheart.
3 seconds.
I mean, everyone's kind of waiting for the reload, and Blackheart's got it. Oh, man.
Ricochet. Hades, though, is up and loaded. And
there you go. And Immortals going to take that second win.
So, taking early lead on this map. Again, attacking side, is it favored? Hard to say for us at this point in time, but taking that early lead. Let's see when things swap.
Yep.
If Horsemen, I'd say the favorites in this series, can turn things around, because the Immortals are taking them to town, or taking them to school on this map.
They are. But
teaching them how to play it.
This is interesting. This is the battle between 4 and 5, you know, and I think on the ranking list they were only about a point or 2 differential between them. Again, like I said, this is probably going to be the closest match of the evening. But so far, Immortals are showing us that they are dominating. And
yeah, these matches have been pretty one-sided, to be totally honest. And if this continues, then Horsemen needs to figure something else out. Keep in mind the next map is going to be Lakeville when we get to it. But now we're switching sides. It's now going to be Immortals defending and the Horsemen on the attack.
Yes, sir.
I like to think that the Horsemen, based on their playstyle in the past, are going to rush that early base capture on the inside of the city, on the inside edge, which is a very unique spot on this map where you can just capture and not be seen, and anyone who's trying to deny your capture is going to have to move out of a good position into your defensive position. I'm
wondering, since Karen Tigers did the crazy 4-tank rush, and we just saw EL do that as well, do you think Horsemen may try for that? It's
possible. Unfortunately, on this map, if you want to rush that position, I don't think 4 tanks can fit in there. 3 tanks definitely can, but 4, I don't think it can fit. But if you rush 3 and you have a 4th to support, I mean, it could still work. It absolutely could still work, Susie. So it's a possibility. Anything is possible with these 2 teams, especially because we haven't seen them play against each other before. This is our first time. It's going to be the first time we're seeing Horsemen on the defensive, or rather on the attack on this map versus this team. So game number 3 should give us some indication of what we might see in game number 4.
Yes.
And possibly even going into Lakeville, how they're going to be playing against this Vietnamese team.
Yep, and I wonder if they're going to be changing tanks. It looks like they are going to change tanks a little bit, but we will have to wait and see what those actually are once the game gets started.
Horseman is keeping the tank lineup the same. I see in their little lobby chat there. But Hades is listing out the tanks for Immortals. It looks like they're changing up just a little bit. We'll keep you guys covered on that when we get into it. Oh, well, I see what it is already, so I guess we can talk about it. It's going to be a tank destroyer is swapped back in.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Well, let's see how much effect that will have in the next game. Welcome to set number 3. We have Immortals versus Horsemen. Horsemen now on the attack, and Immortals up 2 games.
All right, so they swap out one of their IS-3s for the tank destroyer. We saw this composition already by Horsemen when they were on the defensive. The difference being that they still had 4 IS-3s and they swapped out an AMX to do 100, so they're swapping an IS-3 for it with a 12-ton. Whereas we see the Horsemen doing the exact same thing that the Immortals did with the 4 IS-3s, the 2 5100s, and a T-37. So standard in that regard. And let's see how they attack. Let's see how they approach.
Yeah, let's see if the Waffen makes any difference this time around. I mean, I feel like it was a non-factor last time, but Immortals are up 2 games. And so maybe they're just feeling a little more confident to put it back in?
Yeah, most likely. And the thing is, the Immortals are putting it back in a sense, but it was really Horsemen that used it before. So this is the first time we're going to see Immortals actually run this tank, I believe. So they might be feeling more confident in it, and it might just be a test the waters here in their first game on defense.
Okay, several members of Horsemen, 6th sense going off. Everyone's been spotted. Immortals knows that they are kind of moving their way all the way up north, and Horsemen all sticking together. This is what they do really well.
It's what they do really well, and I think that they're going to do that rush, just like you were talking about. You had a sixth sense for this, Susie.
I did.
Your
My
light bulb was going
bulb
off.
was like, boop, this is going to happen.
All right, well, good position here for Sun, but the Horsemen do get a good trade with them there. And they're going to approach him from both sides.
Yeah, Sun is just going to get surrounded by a ton of Horsemen right now. Could you imagine being like attacked by men with rubber horse faces just coming straight at you?
Well, Sun is alone, but the rest of the members of his team are coming to join him. And he's in a good position as best as he could be. And they also don't know if he's alone or not for sure.
That is true.
They're very apprehensive about moving forward here. I see Flying Unicorn misses a shot and takes some damage. That is painful.
Yes, it is. Spencer is trying to start this base capture. There's 24 seconds left on it.
Huge mistake.
Unicorn is gone,
Yep.
but it looks like Sun is going to be able to be taken out right here as well. Spencer's got his shot. Yep, he goes and takes him out. Base capture is still continuing.
Yeah.
Although the countdown is
It's
all
getting
over
reset,
the place.
and I have to say, I mean, this rush has failed. The Waffen has done an insane amount of damage.
It sure has.
Like, way too much damage. Like, I can't even believe how much damage it did. It basically single-handedly killed 3 tanks, and that is likely to be game here. Blackheart is taking some damage. The Sirius wants to come and help finish him off, but Feluso now out of rounds, so they can just ignore him.
Yep.
And here comes Reaper. Reaper should be able to kill Tommy.
Reaper and Hades just going to come around back. Tommy goes down right away. Feluso, again, 35 seconds until he's got anything at all. He's just going to sit there, drive around, because that's about all he can do. Immortals is going to go ahead and take set number 3.
Tank Destroyer, tons of damage. The rush failed. They had an opportunity to kill Sun and take good position there, but they were so patient because they didn't know how many tanks were actually in there. And then by the time they were starting to move around the corners to move in, an AMX 5100 and the Waffen are ready to kill those tanks. Boom, down goes an IS-3, down goes the 5100. The other 5100 does, tries his best, misses a lot of his rounds, mind you.
Again, I think it's the panic factor, right? I mean, that's what makes. I know when I'm playing the game and I'm just like, oh God, I have to shoot now, like, and it's really hard to focus. No matter even if you're a professional, I'm sure you have moments like that.
There are nerve issues. Also, like when you take a shot like that, you never know how he's going to wiggle or where he's going to juke. So, again, not knowing he's alone. But the rush was clearly. I mean, you used your sixth sense, your crystal ball. You saw this coming, and you were right. It happened. It failed. Time to rethink things going into our final set on this map, I feel. Maybe just play a little bit standard, maybe try to take the castle and slowly branch out and try to take a lead in hit points before we try to force any rash moves like that. Or if you're going to do that, go in on Sun. If it's Sun and a friend, try to take them out. Get a good position. Don't wait so long that... I mean, what happened there at Immortals was like, oh, it's a rush. Let's move everybody in and have a perfect position and just tear you apart. The Waffen got into such a good position that nobody could touch the Waffen, but the Waffen was just blowing tanks up left and right.
That was definitely a key factor for the Immortals there. It looks like Immortals are not changing their tanks at all, and yeah, looks like same for the other team. So we should be getting into the game pretty shortly.
Yeah, as long as all the players are connected in and ready, should be starting pretty soon. This is already turning out to be a pretty one-sided series, despite what we thought. We'll see if the Immortals can take a perfect score on this map.
I'm quite surprised by this. I really, really am. I mean, obviously, the earlier games today, because they are Karen Tigers. Okay, Karen Tiger B Gaming, we thought maybe, but all right. Well, we'll talk about it a little bit later. Game is now ready. We're going to go right into set number 4. Set number 4, Immortals versus Horsemen. Immortals up 3-0, and they are now on the defense.
Same tank lineups as you mentioned before. No swaps. Let's see if Horsemen rushes that city. This is a city map. Rushes the inner city capture point. That capture point behind the wall.
Alrighty.
That tea time capture point. Let's call it that. A tea time capture point.
Okay, we
can call it that. You tea time on it when you're capping. So I like that.
All right, here's Spencer. He's just going to go all the way around and see if he can just gather more information for his teammates before his teammates go into panic mode.
Yep. good position here for the Immortals already, covering a lot of bases here. It's going to be a very different slow push, seeing the AMX is up to the castle and the IS-3s in the central road right outside the courtyard, where they will be able to perhaps take a few shots on these Immortal players. Blackheart takes one and misses. Still full hit points for both sides. Another shot missed here, attempting to hit none. Hades trying to thread the needle through that building. It misses.
Very good attempt, though. Wow. I mean, the range on that is quite massive, and he's going to use this rubble building that we saw a previous.
Oh, Sun got it. Sun is in the same spot. They predicted it. And again, if they do not hesitate, they can take a good position, but they're hesitating again.
Well,
they can move on it.
You're right. It's the same 3 IS-3s that are going to come over, and obviously they predicted it, like you said.
But again, this is giving the Immortals so much time to get into position to defend this.
Oh, Sun keeps taking a ton of damage.
Okay.
But obviously Ningyo and Blackheart, they're going to stick around and see if they can help him out if members of Horsemen come into view. Oh,
if Sun moves even an inch into Gorilla's vision, it's going to go down. We're going to have a fight of the tier 6s here. Reaper versus Spencer. I think Reaper's got this.
Reaper.
Oh.
He's
got it.
You sure?
Well,
Spencer's down so low, and Reaper is...
Reaper's just not going to fight it. There's no reason.
Well, he is.
He
and
did,
he's going to take Spencer down.
Big risk, but it paid off.
Nice, and he is still alive with 137 HP.
Now, a big concern is Ningyo only has 2 shells left on the 5100. The Sirius has 4, whereas both Veluso and Flying, nearly full Flying, just used 1. He might get focused down here, though. Can he escape? He's trying to get out of vision. Sirius takes the shot and hits it.
He sure does. That was a perfect shot for him. He still has 2 rounds left. Sun, on the other hand, while we were watching, that has gone down. And it looks like Horsemen are playing a lot better because they are very calm and steady. They're not panicking as much this time around. Veluso, however, is going to take some damage.
Oh my god, he's got so many rounds he cannot afford to get taken out here. Hades knows it. He's trying to target him down. And while Archon and Blackheart fight, there he goes.
Hades goes and takes that. Veluso is not able to use that.
Yeah, and I want to point out that during all this time, Ningyo is in the back lines, refreshing, reloading. He's got a lot of time to work with here.
Oh, Sirius now 28 seconds. Ningyo only has 10. They're just going to have to sit back and make sure that reload happens.
Gorilla has 4 hit points.
Wow.
4 hit points. Ningyo's so close.
Will Gorilla be able to do some sort of damage before he goes down, though?
He gets Blackheart killed, so he does something.
Ooh.
Here comes Ningyo with full rounds. He takes 1 shot on Archon.
Archon is going to try to block Gorilla. Gorilla's going to shoot through. Catan takes damage. Gorilla stays alive.
They're not for long, though. But the thing is, this is still a winnable game for Horsemen. They just have to make sure they can avoid these last few 5100 shots, and they fail at it.
They fail. And
that was such a close game, actually, though, because all that were left was 2 5100s with very few rounds, 2 rounds and 1 round left there at the end. Had they run out of rounds, it would have been unable to fire and would have eventually been taken out by those IS-3s. Really close game. Accuracy is key, and the Immortals had the better accuracy there.
They sure did. I have to say, I feel like Horsemen definitely were not panicking as much. They were, even if they were getting destroyed, they kind of still were patient about it and made sure they were in better position than they were last game.
They were very confident this time in dealing with Sun, taking him down to very low hit points early, but they couldn't deal with Ningyo. He blasted a bunch of damage out, then hid in the back and safely was able to reload. And that was the issue. Came in with another fully reloaded AMX after they already had done all that damage. That was a big issue.
Okay, well, as we go on to set number 5, we're going to go to Lakeville, and here we're going to reintroduce to you Lakeville, since we did see it earlier today. Here it is, beautiful Lakeville. This is the vacation resort of many World of Tanks players.
It's Wolf's favorite map, and this map is very unique. There's a lot of different viable strategies we see on this map, a lot of different viable tank compositions. It's one of those maps that's really hard to play a best of 1 on, which is why tiebreakers end up being crazy on this map. We've seen before. This could end up being a best of 1 if Immortals takes it, so Horseman is going to have to take that first win, and then, of course, 3 wins directly after it. But at least they'll be able to feel out the first game if they take that win. the thing about this map for Horsemen is they played really poorly on it the first time they played on it, but the second time they played on it, they turned things around. They clearly knew, they understood how to play the map. We saw games on this map earlier already today with B Gaming versus Karen Tiger, where we're seeing teams take the lower part right at the bottom center of the minimap, controlling that area in order to defend the 2 capture points, whereas the attacking side is forced to usually send some tanks through the city and some tanks through the valley, which is different from how it was being played back when Horsemen played it. When Horsemen was playing on this map before, they were using heavy tanks to control the city and approaching the capture point that way. Several different viable strategies on this map. The mountain valley, the mountain pass, the city, those three sort of approach strategies all have different responses as well. And going into this one, the Immortals are going to be on the defensive side on Lakeville to start things off. So they're going to be the ones having to scout, figure out the positioning of the Horsemen, where they want to defend. Do they want to take the southern center part that we saw today, seems to be the newer meta, or do they want to try to take the fight to the city? All different sorts of options, Susie.
There are all sorts of different. This is why this is one of our favorite maps. Lakeville, you never really know what you're going to get because there is no standard meta for this map just yet.
It's so new.
I am excited to see if they'll go north and go through the Valleyway. And,
Horsemen are the big. What sort of tanks are you feeling? You feeling like a bunch of lightweights going through, or you want to do the slow, heavy, like we're going to get there eventually, but when we do, we'll blow you up?
I like the lightweights. I have to say, I do like the lightweights. I like how they zip around the map. We will definitely see. Horsemen are on the attack. Yeah, I can see them doing something crazy like that. Lightweights all the way around, and obviously if was it Karen Tigers who did that?
B Gaming did that.
B Gaming did that. But, I mean, that looked pretty awesome. I can see Horsemen doing that, too.
B Gaming did that today. They also did it in their other match on this map. So it's something that B Gaming likes to do a lot. Horsemen, if they do that, I worry for them because they've only got 1 life left in this match. And if the Immortals win, they are going to take the lead out of these 2 teams because, like you said, they're 4th and 5th, very close to each other in points. Top 4 are the most important, obviously.
Okay. Well, I mean, we're just going to see if they pick their team, what's the word I'm looking for?
Tanks?
Tanks. They're going to pick their tanks. No, but I have a feeling they might be changing up some players as well.
Could be.
Okay, so I'm getting a message that Horsemen need a computer reboot.
So they're going to need some time. That's fine. Which is warranted because obviously you never want to have one of your PCs, pooping out on you when it's such an important match where you're 1 loss away from being knocked out. They were the favorites going into the series. I feel like most people would not deny that. But again, this is the lost series, the series we never saw before. And I feel like this is the series I really, really wanted to see last time, and I've been waiting for this. When are we going to finally see it?
Waiting for this for like 4 weeks, 5 weeks.
Like, for example, if we hadn't seen Run versus TCSG, that's another one of those series where I'm like, these teams are really close. Or B Gaming versus Karen Tigers. These teams are really close. I really want to see that. This is a similar situation. I really wanted to see it. We didn't get to, and now we get to finally see it. But the Immortals, so far, so good.
So far, very, very good. I'm really impressed with the way they've been playing, and just hoping that they will be able to continue this. I mean, when you're on a momentum like this, it really kind of, it helps you practice better over the weekend, and then come Monday, they'll be able to be fresh and new, and this is great.
Yeah, hopefully once we get that computer rebooted and everyone in the lobby, we can start things up. Oh, okay. Looks like it's time.
I think they are, so here we go. We're going to go on to Lakeville, set number 5. Set number 5, Immortals versus Horsemen. And we are on Lakeville. Immortals are up 4 games. This could be the last one, guys, and here's our tank list.
All right, so let's focus on Horsemen here. They're the ones in trouble. 3 IS-3s, a T-32, and 2 54s. So the 2 54s give them the flexibility to use that mountain pass, to use that mountain valley, and the 12-ton, which can also join them.
They're totally going city side, aren't they?
Well, on the side of Immortals, they are definitely planning on doing that with 3 IS-3s, 5100, just 1 lightweight and a 1390. And
shots being fired already.
The plan for Horsemen is definitely to go seaside with the majority of their tanks, but they could send some lightweights back. So far, sticking together in the city, though. Spencer going to try to shoot across the lake. Reaper looking to do the same on those 12 tons. We're going to have a 12-ton shootout. Look at them shooting out.
Wow, look at the... And everyone on Horsemen is trying to focus on Reaper, and Reaper does take some hits.
He dodges one shot, though, so he can at least hide behind this rock and stay alive for now.
For now, at least. And, yeah, all these shots just going across the lake. Catan takes quite some damage. I do like how each of the teams are really focusing on one tank. They know how imperative it is to pick off one, because that's one less gun they have to worry about. Reaper cannot move from this rock right now.
Horsemen haven't gained much ground from this, but any damage they can get done is going to be great. They haven't taken a single point of damage themselves. Totally unscathed here. Take another shot at Reaper, hoping maybe they could ricochet, hit a bit of him there and finish him off. Does not happen. Horsemen in a good spot damage-wise, but again, they have not made any leeway, any sort of progress towards the capture points.
Okay, Archon is, while this is happening, Archon is going to go ahead into the valley, see if he can maybe sneak capture the point, but obviously Immortals are not stupid. They have one tank over there to man the base.
Poor Reaper, it feels like he's probably like experiencing several earthquakes with every shot. They keep firing at him despite the fact that he has not moved. Almost hoping they're going to blow that rock up eventually. It's not going to happen.
You never know. Wow, look at all the...
Oh god, don't even try it, Reaper. Don't even try it.
Move. Is Reaper trying to shoot through that rock?
I think he's trying to get his turret on the other side of it, yeah.
Wow.
Because I believe if your turret does go through that, it can actually fire.
Okay, well here comes Archon, and Feluso is right behind him. Catan, however, with a steady watch up top, he's going to shoot some not-so-friendly fire. Archon on the T-32.
Gun depression attempts here to try to hit Catan. T-32, a great tank for this. Try to push through there using the protection of some rocks and his turret.
That is super interesting. Horsemen sending over another lightweight tank into the valley. Looks like they might want to try to capture this, but Catan, too smart. He already knows he's going to come around, probably letting his teammates know, like, dude, they're coming.
They're coming,
they're coming.
But can they defend this? I think they can. Catan moving a bit indecisively here. If they can just simply focus on these tanks and ignore the city tanks, which have no way of hitting these 5100s and the IS-3s, it should be fine. He's going to take one shot to back up. And can he hit it?
Wow, the tanks are just going to come right in a row. They're all kind of protecting one another on the Horseman side. And,
Catan needs to take it and leave.
Yeah, Catan is not going to be able to survive this. It's a 3v1 here, essentially. And, yeah, Horsemen are going to try to cap this base. Catan needs to go and let his buddies know to come over, and that's exactly what they're doing. Immortals going to head down south, and they realize that this base is under attack.
Catan missed all of his shots. Oh, they're actually moving right into these IS-3's line of fires. This is exactly what I did not want to see.
Be careful.
Ningyo's down.
Wasn't careful. Ningyo is down.
They're falling right into Horseman's trap.
Ooh, that is very, very smart. Sun is taking a ton of damage. Hades right now, you can see, is getting chipped away as well. Horseman still 100% HP.
Yep, that's exactly what I wanted to point out. Okay, finally taking the very first point of damage on Feluso here, but
okay, Gorilla takes some damage as well. Hades goes down.
I'm a bit disappointed the Immortals just decided to run in there with their lightweight tanks. The plan seemed pretty obvious, right? They knew all those IS-3s were there. They hadn't moved. They had vision that they hadn't moved, and they just ran right into their line of fire. This game is essentially over unless Immortals can time this out for 2 minutes and 33 seconds. It's going to be pretty tough. It's possible.
It is possible, but we'll have to see.
The Sirius about to go into reload mode.
Sun is down. Gorilla does go down. It is only it's a 3v6 though, man. This is going to be pretty tough.
There's just no way. It's got to be 3 in the capture. It's going to get down to its 20s. And there it is, 22.
22 seconds.
They're not even focusing on the capture point.
No.
No turrets have eyes on this capture point. It's almost as if they've already given up.
They're just going to try to take up members one by one. But yeah, like you said, 10 seconds left to base capture, and there's not a single member of Immortals nearby. I think that's going to be it.
No, it's definitely a game.
Horsemen will take this game.
They do. There's nobody looking,
and
that'll
really
be game number 5. Horsemen's first win in this series. I got to say, that was a pretty obvious trap they fell into. 3 IS-3s looking down the river. Saw them earlier. They were literally blasting at Reaper the entire time.
Yeah.
Knew exactly where they were. Knew exactly how many of them there were. Knew what they were doing. and as soon as they even showed their faces in the valley, everyone just walked right into the line of fire and blew up. I mean, that's as simple as this game gets. Everything that happened after that was just collateral pieces being picked up. Like, that was Horsemen sweeping up the broken pieces of Immortals and moving into Game 6.
I was surprised that Immortals all just kind of rushed over there without even checking. Yeah, but they weren't even checking to make sure that there weren't members like focusing on them on the way, you know, drive-by shooting.
They simply could have just rotated the turrets they had on the tanks to the center bottom and tried to deny the base capture that way. Yeah, they would have to move a little bit, but they could have. I mean, walking Ningyo out into the line of fire, the 5100 walks into 3 IS-3 shots.
That sounds like a joke, man.
Yeah, that was the beginning of the end of that game.
A 5100 walks into a bar.
And the bartenders, 3 of them.
There's 3 of them.
Would you like an IS-3 round?
Oh, you
Rounds
wouldn't?
on me.
Rounds on. God.
So I have to say, maybe the Immortals getting a bit overconfident, maybe being a bit flustered.
Maybe.
That was an off game.
Again, Immortals knew that they just needed one more win. Maybe that was exactly what it was. They just got overconfident. They're like, oh, well, you know, we got this. They didn't. And so we're going to have to see how it goes in set number 6. See if they're going to keep their same tanks. No, I believe Immortals are going to change.
Okay. Well, this is smart. What will they change, though?
What would they change?
Another IS-3, perhaps. Could also swap out for another lightweight, depending on how they want to space out their tanks. Because we did see Horsemen was very adamant about controlling the city, controlling the docks of the lake, controlling that location, rather than trying to control the center of the city and push down it hard. They were basically just controlling that center bottom. Basically, just to continue to sum this up, they were countering the strategy that we saw earlier with the 2 Japanese teams by focus firing tanks that were over there, controlling that location, pinning them down there, and then threatening them on the other side. Yeah. And then the trap was set. They fell for it.
Okay, well, here we go. We're going to go straight into set number 6 and see if Immortals can close it out. Set number 6, we've got Immortals with 4. Horsemen takes the first game on this map. Let's look at the tanks.
1 50-100, 3 IS-3s, a T-32 is what's swapped in here, and the lightweight and a 12-ton. So a T-32 for a 50-100, and on the side of Horsemen, same tanks.
It's the same tanks for the Horsemen.
So,
alrighty. Yeah, so let's
ooh, this looks like it might be more of a direct city battle for the Immortals, wanting to take that fight straight up and actually stop those IS-3s from getting to the lake, perhaps. They're heading that same way.
They are headed that same way.
Reaper's exposed.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
Okay. Alright, yeah, so the T-54 heading over to the valley side. Very smart. Spencer is going to hide in this bush and just be the eyes for now. But yeah, you're right. It just looks like a massive city brawl that may occur. The T-32 going around again to the valley side.
Catan very bravely challenging those IS-3s, and knowing his speed and range is going to beat them out in the end, knowing exactly where they would be blindly just simply because they did that last game.
Dude, Archon and Falusa are going to do the exact same thing. They're going to go down to the valley side, and Immortals have got to know that this is happening.
Yep. Oh, Sirius taking some damage, not okay. Okay, bounce there off the turret.
That was good.
Another bounce.
Be careful, dude.
That ricochet on the turret, one of the reasons why the T-32 is still used on maps like this, even without many hills or places to use that gun depression. So, at this point in time, like you said, you're spot on. Rushing those 2 tanks on the middle, although the T-54 this time on Flying Unicorn is going down the pass. It's going to maybe try to support these IS-3s on the lake docks.
Okay, I like that Reaper is going to go join his friend over in the valley base point, while it's only Archon heading downward. So if these 2 tanks can take out Archon, that would actually be really beneficial for Immortals.
Yeah, well, Archon, he's got a tank that's going to make it very difficult for them to. However, if maybe they ambushed him as he tries to come around the corner, that could be one way they do it. Looks like the T-54s may have a bit of a battle as Catan is moving into position to maybe take out Flying Unicorn as he comes down.
There's Archon. He's shooting around. Reaper, his sixth sense is off. He knows that there is a tank there. And it's just going to go back and forth and exchange shots.
Look at Archon. Only his turret is exposed. Reaper is not even going to try to shoot it. He knows it's not going to penetrate. It's not going to do anything.
Right. Ooh, Sirius does take some good damage onto Nun. Nun is going to have to pull into someone's backyard here.
Yeah, and also Catan, a great shot on Flying Unicorn, pushing him out of the mountain pass. Now he controls the west side lakefront.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he takes more damage on his way out. Sun is trying to finish him off, is unable to.
And now with Catan there, he can just do so much support fire from the lake. No one can deny him.
Okay, Sun is going to try for Sidonia Tommy. He's going to get surrounded pretty fast. Ningyo is on the other side. Sidonia Tommy, man, be careful. He's getting shot at from 2 different directions, and he's probably going to go down very quickly.
Yep.
There you go.
There he goes.
And Ningyo now, I mean, he's out of shells, and he's just kind of sitting there by himself, taking just a ton of damage. Maybe he can ram into someone first, but...
Unlikely. He's going to just simply be ignored. Hades takes some damage. Peluso is on the run, though. Ningyo falls, but 2 kills there, and Horsemen...
Peluso and Gorilla both go down on the Horseman side.
Oh, Flying Unicorn! He's reloading, and he gets taken out.
Blackheart does take him out. It is now up to Spencer and Archon. Archon is the last man standing.
Catan just trying to outmaneuver him here with his faster fire time. And he's just going to... He can outmaneuver this rotation all the way. They hit the turret by mistake there. That's going to hurt him.
That is going to hurt him just a bit.
Reaper's
but yeah, Reaper is behind him, and Reaper can definitely take those shots as well. Spencer running away with 19 HP. Yeah, Spencer just
he has to cap or defeat everybody. It's not going to happen.
Oh, who's going to kill him?
It's Catan.
And the Immortals will take this series with a 5-1 score.
Wow, what an unexpected result.
That was really unexpected.
And it does, I feel, for fans who missed their match the last time, or fans who hate DQs, at least feel like maybe they were going to take it last time as well. Although that was several weeks ago. Things have maybe changed since then, because most people would say Horsemen are favored in this matchup, but Immortals showing it that is absolutely not the case. Only catching Immortals with a cheeky trap in Game 1 on Lakeville. The 5th game there, that was the only one they were able to take, was just with this kind of goofy trap that the Horsemen were not expecting.
Fair enough. Oh, let's take a look at the results of today. We were supposed to have 4 sets. Unfortunately, TCSG just could not make it, and Team Efficiency get that easy win. Yep. Then we have B Gaming versus Karen Tigers, much less close. Wait, what's the word? Not as close as it was the first time around. Karen Tigers takes that easily, 5-0. EL Gaming versus Run. Run actually took a map off of them.
Yeah, really well done, just taking a really brilliant fight early on Mines. And then our last set, of course, the Immortals taking it 5-1 over Horsemen. Horsemen only able to surprise them once there, but otherwise Immortals very solid, careful defensive play, 1 out on both maps. So really good day of matches today. Not as close as I was hoping for those 2 close matches, but like the 2 Japanese teams and the Immortals versus Horsemen, I was expecting those to be pretty close, possibly even going to tiebreaker. But either way, really solid play out of all the teams we saw today. Bit of a shame on TCSG, but you know, a good day overall. Overall.
All right, so next Monday, the next matches that we have for you, we got, well, the slide should come up soon.
It's going to be next week, guys.
Next week, on Monday, we have, there it is, we have Run versus B Gaming. Then we have Horsemen versus TCSG. And EL Gaming versus Immortals. Ooh, that one sounds like it could be pretty interesting.
I mean, there are some clear favorites in these matchups, but we've seen all of these before. And these teams have, again, a chance for revenge. B Gaming, Horsemen, and Elong took those matches last time. But the Immortals versus Elong, especially with how well the Immortals played today, should be the best one out of the 3.
I think so, too. And I'm really looking forward to that. Like you said, These are all, it's a double round robin, so we get to see these teams play against one another one more time and see if the results are different than last time. But yeah, and that is all going to go down on Monday,
July 6th. It's going to be at 9 p.m. Korean time.
Yep.
And
that is UTC +8.
Yes.
It's 8 o'clock for
most other regions.
yeah, probably. But it is going to be 9 o'clock KST, and that's where you will find us here, and we will be here to bring you all Tanks action for the WGL APAC-ASIA Gold Series 2015.
Been a great day of Tanks tonight, a great night I should say, as we started here in the evening, and it's been a lot of fun. Looking forward to the next match on Monday as well.
Absolutely, and on that note, we are going to bid you adieu and have a very good night, everyone.